Hey everybody, so we are here at the Trout Run Trailhead. We're going to do a little bit of a hike here and show you some of my old stomping grounds. It'll be pretty cool. So this is another Whatnot Adventures, and come along and we're going to have some fun, explore some nature. So here we are at the Trout Run Trailhead. This is near the village of Greenpoint. This area was all part of that eminent domain when they were going to make the Swatara State Park, and so there's going to be a lot of places where I can show you where there was homes and talk a little bit about those different things. But this is a really neat little trail that goes through here. There's actually a really cool bottle dump that's out in here because a lot of the old farms out in this area, they all had like glass bottle dumps. So you can find some pretty unique bottles sometimes. A lot of them, you know, there's one really cool one out near Sudburg, which is way back, but it's like a Pepsi bottle dump. Like it's all Pepsi bottles. So this person apparently was like a big fan of Pepsi. But it'd be like 60s and 70s Pepsi bottles, nothing a whole lot earlier than that. But they used to have the liter bottles were glass. And there's a whole bunch of those back there, which are really, really neat. So something that I was exploring for a while is repurposing things and stuff like that, and then finding a use for those old bottles. But DCNR, Department of Conservation of Natural Resources, they're the ones that actually run this park, mainly headlined out of Memorial Lake State Park. So they come here, they maintain this, they keep it clean. A lot of really, really neat trails back here, a lot of good places for biking, horse riding, that type of stuff. But I just love the sounds of nature. We're gonna do this in parts because there's certain things I want to show you. So this isn't gonna be a straight trail run like I normally do. I'm actually gonna separate some of this stuff and then go from there. But let's keep on hiking. Hoping we can find him in here, but I saw a little squirrel guy coming down through. See his bushy tail. He might have ran off and hid. Little stinker. I didn't get my camera back out quick enough. Oh well. Everything's wet, so you can't hear them bouncing around, because usually some of these squirrels sound like they're an elephant going through the jungle. I don't see him anywhere. He was a cutie. Always found a lot of joy with the squirrels. Let's get the camera back to normal. A lot of wildlife back here. You have, of course, Trout Run Creek. You have the Swatara Creek, which is more a river than a creek. but it's always referred to as the Swatara Creek. So a lot of cool stuff, a lot of history back here. We do want to explore at some point the history of the area, talking about the villages of Greenpoint, sort of like the villages of Cornwall. The difference is a lot of the villages of Cornwall still are around, whereas the villages of Greenpoint, so many of them are gone. But we are going to try to find, thankfully through my friend Jared, he's going to see if he can find one of the guys that has a lot of pictures from back in that time period, say the early 1900s through until the 1960s, 70s, when the villages were taken down. Some of these guys have pictures, and so it'd be cool to have a picture of this is what this area looked like where we're standing right now, and you can sort of see that difference. I think we're coming up right on Route 443, and Route 72 ended down that way. I don't know if we'll make it quite that far down because it's a little bit of a walk, but I'd like to take you to a couple of different cool places that I have good memories. I used to love driving on this road. This is the Moonshine Trail because this is Moonshine Road. Named that way for Henry Moonshine, but also it was a little bit of a moonshine run back in Prohibitionary times. At least that's the tale it's told. But you'll see, like right over here with these trees here, there was a home that stood in there. We'll go down that way. There's a home, one of my friends, her father's home was there. This was like a farm out in here. So it was so many of these places, there were homes, people's lives. And a nice little fishing trail that goes down to Trout Run. We'll be able to overlook here the old guardrail. But this was always sort of a terrifying turn back in the day because it get really slick and people drove too fast. So they'd be on the wrong side of the road. So you just had to be careful. It was especially a bad place to ride bike. But yeah, a lot of memories. I haven't been down here for a long time. It's good to be here again. You can see down through the trees there. There's this bend in Trout Run. That's the creek, Trout Run. This was one of my favorite fishing holes. It was just awesome fishing down there. It was so deep in that corner, that bend in the creek. A lot of good memories there, fishing along this side of Trout Run, and just the sound of it is beautiful. Here's we continue around. I think sometimes they call it Dead Man's Curve. I don't know how many people actually would have died around this curve, but I know there was they'd had a lot of accidents. It's cool. There's a couple of the old wood posts that would have been remaining from probably the 30s. Was not the safest of roads, which is a major reason why they're like, we need to put a road through that's bigger, handles the traffic better, and is just in general safer, because this was the old road, and a lot of good memories riding bike. Once they shut this road down, it was a bike trail, hiking trail, and it's just a nice stretch of abandoned road. A lot of memories. Alright, so here's a unique thing. Like over here, there was houses down through, and that goes back over to the new 440. Well, it's not new anymore, but you know, been around for almost 30 years probably. This is a road that goes back to the last standing house. This is Trout Run. Once again, I used to fish in here all the time. We're gonna march down to cool, it goes over the thing. I just love the sound of a babbling brook or stream. There's a bridge down here, and then the park ranger's house, which was a home for somebody at some point, is back here. And this is another one of those sort of bends in the creek, and had a nice fishing hole, but it was also worked well as a swimming hole, which was a blast. Let's see what these signs say. Say, do not be naughty. So it's basically just saying hunting beyond this point, because you're within that. I think it's either 150 or 200 yards you're not allowed to shoot within a residence. This is the old wood bridge. It had replaced, because there was another bridge down a little further, which we're not going to go down there. Maybe we will at some point once I'm moving a little better. But there used to be another bridge, because there was another house on the other side of the creek as well. There, the abutments are still there. So this was probably replaced. This looks like it's been replaced since as well. Number of bridges that went over Trout Run, a couple still in use, and then a number of them like this just in use for the park ranger and for the park staff. This was the hole. It was a beautiful swimming hole. But just another cool place, and like I said, if you go right around here, I don't want to go too far. I want to respect. You can probably just see there's a shed, but the home, it's a white home, I guess clapboard siding, whatever you want to call it, and that's where the park ranger lives. Hey, so I wanted to try to go back down that direction to those other things. We'll do that as a hike another time. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm getting tired, and I have to know my limits and not push myself over that, because if I do that, then I'm hurt again. Don't want to do that. So this is a fun little trip. This is a trip down memory lane. A lot of cool stuff. There is, going down that way towards where 72 would have ended. I want to take you down that way at some point, because I had told you before about the stone face that was along 72. They had like Jenny loves Johnny or whatever. Naughty words were put on there, spray painted. It's a pretty popular site, and it was sort of like a widening of my eyes. The innocence taken too early. It was a cool memory. It was one of those things along the way that you just sort of remember. And there's also there's another cool bridge that, you know, is used for trails. I'm assuming it's still standing, but it was sort of a gravel road that went in between, I forget what the road was called at that time. Now I think it's like Park Ranger Drive or whatever it's called. But there was this gravel road that was always there in between Route 443 and that little road that went next to Trout Run, and this bridge, it's concrete bridge that went over Trout Run. And it was always not really great fishing there, but it's a good memory. So, but I'll take you down that way the next time and take you down to the median of where 72 ends and 443 goes north to Pine Grove, and where it becomes Moonshine Road, and then eventually goes west at Indiantown Gap through Manada Gap, Fishing Creek Valley, eventually ending at Fort Hunter at Susquehanna River. We did that drive a while back, but I'm too fat. I lost weight again, but hiking, it's a very gradual hill, but it's still sort of like gonna live, I hope. If not, if this video ever gets out there, I died on the Trout Run Trailhead trying to bring you guys entertainment and failed. But yeah, a lot of good memories out here. First 25 years of my life out here in the Greenpoint region. so many just neat things. It's just my childhood. So that's the whole point of this channel, The Hometown Historian. This is a hometown and brings up good memories, brings up bad memories, but there's a lot of nostalgia to just seeing old sites, that places I spent a lot of time with friends, by myself, whatever. Just the smells, it all just comes back to you in a whirlwind of emotion. So with that, I'll say thank you for coming along on this latest adventure on the Whatnot Adventures, going and hunting Trout Run Trailhead, and also marching along the Moonshine Trail as well, old 443. Tongue twister. But it isn't a tongue twister. But thank you once again, and as always, we'll see you about town.